Hey guys, Rivers here from Some Cool Tech, and today I want to take a look at the Feiyu G4 3-axis stabilizer. This is the future of handheld action video. Imagine shooting smooth video while moving around without a bulky Steadicam, or shooting video in a remote location without a heavy tripod. This is easily possible with the Feiyu G4, which weighs only about 1 pound. The version I'll be reviewing today is made for the Sony Action Cam, but there are also versions for the Gopro as well as for your smartphone. What this does is it stabilizes your camera in 3 different axes using these motors or gimbals to make your footage nice and smooth. See, the thing is, these action cams are very hard to keep steady because of their small size, but this stabilizer makes it so that you don't need to carry a tripod or any camera gear really to get nice steady shots. So we're going to take a look at what you get in the box, how you set it up, and then I'll show you some test footage later on. Inside the box you've got the stabilizer itself, you've got a charging and data cable for charging the batteries and updating the firmware. You've got your wall charger here. And by the way, keep this box. It's really handy for protecting the stabilizer, especially when you have it in your backpack so it's not banging around and twisting it the wrong way. Anyways, it comes with 2 sets of rechargeable batteries, which is nice because you always have a fresh pair ready to go. I'd estimate they last for about 2 hours of continuous use, but much longer because I turn it off and on all the time. The one downside is that you've got to recharge the batteries outside of the unit, but it's not too bad because if you do run out, you can just pop in your second set of batteries and recharge later. It also comes with a Euro power adapter, which could come in pretty handy, and also a USB adapter, and this is only used when connecting to the computer to update the firmware. Now let me show you how to set up the G4. It's actually really simple. There's only 2 buttons on it. The white button controls the mode of the camera, and this button on the bottom turns on the power of the whole system. To install the batteries, just unscrew the bottom cap and insert 2 batteries, then screw the lid back on, but don't hit the button until you've got the camera installed. Now to install the camera, just loosen up the 2 silver screws until they're almost all the way out. Then just slide the camera in and it should stop up against the bracket at the back. Now tighten down the screws and you're almost ready to go. The camera doesn't need to be perfectly balanced because the motors will make up for it when the power is turned on. This is nice because then it can take several different models of the Sony Action Cam. One small downside is this clip goes partially across the LCD screen, but I can still see what it says, plus I usually adjust my settings for my phone anyways. Now you're ready to power on the stabilizer, just hit the button at the bottom and it'll take about 2 seconds and you're ready to go. I would recommend practicing with the stabilizer for a few days before you go on a big trip. Once you get used to it, you can get some really awesome shots that you can't really get any other way, especially for so little money. I go over some of these methods in my other videos, so be sure and subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. One more thing, you could add some additional hardware to mount your smartphone so that you can monitor the video coming from your camera. When I bought my Sony Action Cam, it came with a bunch of accessories, and I'll put a link to that in the description down below. And I got this handlebar mount, and then on top of that I added this cell phone mount, which is spring-loaded, so I can clip my Samsung phone in here and then watch the live video off my Sony camera. I don't use it that often, but in certain situations it does come in very handy. Like if you really need to make sure you're centered on your subject, or in this situation where I want to have 2 cameras mounted on the same object. So here I have it set up so that I can see what the camera sees. So this is very nice because sometimes you'll shoot a bunch of video and you'll be just slightly pointing down or pointing up the whole time, and this way you know you're right on, so you could at least check it this way. But what I'm using it for is, I'll show you in a minute, just to do comparisons between a camera with no stabilization and a camera with stabilization. Okay, I'm here in the north end of Boise and I'm here to test out the Action Cam with this gimbal. And for comparison, I've hooked it up to my cell phone, which is on the base of the gimbal. So I'm going to record video on both of these, and then we'll compare them. I'll show you the video and we'll compare them and see which one's more stable. Now the phone actually, this is the Galaxy S6, it actually has electronic image stabilization for the video, and the Sony camera also has electronic image stabilization. So since they both have the image stabilization, I think the gimbal will be the difference between the two, and it'll make a good comparison video. This stabilizer works great for lots of different shots too. For this movement, you'd normally need a jib to move the camera up and down, but instead all you need to do is hold the stabilizer by the ground and then reach it slowly up in the air as high as your arm can reach. And since the stabilizer is so light, it's easy to hold it high in the air as long as you need to. Probably one of the very best uses of this stabilizer is the ability to walk and shoot video and have it be very easy to watch. If you're going down a straight path, you can even lock it in one direction and make really cool time lapses of your path. Another cool effect you can do is lock the stabilizer in position and then walk backwards with the camera behind you and get a nice effect like this one right here. And finally, I wanted to show you just how awesome this stabilizer works. So I'm running full speed and carrying the stabilizer and camera, and you can see that the footage is still very smooth and usable. So this would be great to film from within a race or even a sporting event where you're running amongst the players. Anyway, I think these stabilizers are going to be very popular in the future because they're so easy to use. I mean, you've got a handle to hold your camera and it keeps it steady for you. I'll add a link to the stabilizer, my camera, some of the other stabilizers for different cameras, and the accessories I use in the video description down below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Also, most importantly, when you subscribe, hit that little settings gear and choose receive notifications. This way you'll know right away when I release a new video. Thanks again for watching, and as always, aloha. Wait, don't leave quite yet. Make sure and check out my other video where I show how to use the stabilizer, plus some cool techniques for getting the best shots with the stabilizer. Also, don't forget if you're a current subscriber to hit that little gearbox by the subscribe button so you'll be notified when new videos come out. Thanks again, guys.